Excuse me, folks. But I just now ate a pretty delicious sandwich. Noe surprised me and got me a Jimmy John's box lunch. Nah, it's nice. But anyway, it's spicy. So I'm over here, and then like I'm trying to drink this coffee, which is still piping hot. 4 hours later, it's still hot. So I can't really get enough coolant down to cool this down. But it's actually the sandwich was bomb. So I got another Ask HershNoeie question, and I love them because sometimes, like, I can only talk about Tacoma and some of the development that goes on for so long and the housing things. So the Ask HershNoeis are good because it puts things into perspective for me a lot of times, and the fact that people trust my opinion and things and advice, I appreciate. But someone saw the video that I posted just this morning before I went to the doctor that said, I cheated and I think my partner knows, what should I do? Sorry. This person says that she doesn't want to give her name. She stated that when her and her boyfriend started dating in high school, she wanted to actually go to college in their hometown. But he wanted, and they had discussed that, and he had agreed initially, yeah, that's what he was going to do. But then he ended up wanting to go out of state to a completely different university or whatever. And she said that wasn't the real reason why they broke up, but there was other small things that just were at issue and at odds. So they had taken a break, right? So she said over the course of the summer, they just took a break, and she had her own apartment, but he was staying at home with his mom, right? He just didn't go anywhere. He's not, based on some of the things she said, he's just not someone who's really that sociable. And she said that's one of the reasons why they had issues, is because he just didn't want to go anywhere, right? Sorry. So during the time that they had their little break, they had continued talking back and forth a little bit on the phone or whatnot. But she said that she had met a dude and they dated somewhat. Now, I don't know what dated somewhat means. But then she later on says that she later found out she was pregnant. Okay. Now, when she became pregnant, it changed everything because at that point, she didn't go to college. Hold on, Noe's calling me. I gotta decline it before, because it's gonna mess me up. So anyhow, she didn't go to college, and as a result, he ended up staying in that town and got a job because he wanted to take responsibility. Now, keep in mind, this was 10 years ago. Okay, this lady's writing me because of the video of me talking about this woman who cheated on her dude, and then she thinks her partner knows. Well, this was 10 years ago that they had broken up, and during that time, she had gotten pregnant. So the dude that she was dating, they basically kind of, he stepped up to the plate. They ended up getting married a few years. Sorry, I have to do my nose. A few years after she gave birth. She didn't say exactly when, but a few years after. She then says that she had always doubted that he was the father, but wasn't really for certain, but just didn't think that he was. So the dude that she had messed around with was someone that they had went to school with too. And he said that was his kid. So she starts off saying, my life is really like a Jerry Springer show. I mean, that's what she kind of says. So they end up getting a DNA test with the baby and with the boy that she knew. It turns out that he is actually the father of the kid. But she only found this out, she said, a few years later. So I don't know how old the kid was at that point or what. I don't know. She doesn't say. But the husband does not know that is not his kid. And she says that the dude that is the father of the kid is pretty much a jerk, and it's kind of like she wants to keep distance, but she says, I'm wanting to keep distance, I'm having to live a double life because he wants to see his kid. I have to find ways for him to be able to see his kid and still not get found out about it, because if my husband knows or knew that this was not his kid after this time, it will crush him. So for I don't know how many years she's been trying to make this work and juggle. She'd even said that at one point her husband was up for a job promotion where he would have been moved out of state, and she told him, take it, take it, take it, because she wanted to get distance from the kid's dad. But when the kid's dad found out that that was going to happen, he said that he was going to fight it in court. Now, keep in mind, she says that, and she goes through this whole thing. He doesn't pay child support, doesn't do this, doesn't do that, but he does claim to want to see the kid, and she feels like he's doing it just to mess with her. What should I do? I'm telling you, that's a lot. I'm sorry, but that's a lot. I would be hot, more than hot, if I was that husband. I would be more than hot if I found out. Now, of course, all of mine I know are me. The one thing I can say about Noelle and I is that we, nothing against you or the other person who wrote to this, we value and respect each other. That's just not something, we're not going to sit and cheat on each other. I told her it took forever to find her, and she knew it took forever to find me. We both went through a divorce before, and it's like, who wants to go through that? So for us, we would never, ever do something that we knew, we've never even been apart. We never had a breakup or anything, God, or separation, none of that. We never have done any of that. But even if that was the case, I still wouldn't have done anything. And it seems like, and of course you were young, so it's kind of like, okay, at 18 or 19, whatever you were at the time, and then you ended up getting pregnant, and you always thought that maybe this could, you never know. And then dude steps up to the plate, sounds like he's a good dude. But at the same time, again, he's got to know who he's got to know. Now, it's the holiday season. I get that. But this is a conversation that has to happen. You cannot deceive someone, especially on something this monumental, because I don't even think, you two supposedly weren't really together. That's not even the issue. It's the fact that there's a man, your husband, who's raising a kid who he feels and treats as his own child. But he doesn't share a bloodline at all, and the person that does, he knows, because you guys went to school together. I mean, like that. It's difficult, and it is a bit messy. I'm not trying to be judgmental, but it's a bit messy. I appreciate you trusting me in answering this. You're still young. You're not even 30 years old. But I mean, this, to me, this is something that you have to tell him, and quick, because you living a double life, literally, is a problem. And what she also says is that her son just thinks that this is like her uncle, that the guy that she says he's like an uncle, like a cousin type thing. So her son thinks that this isn't really his dad. He didn't know. He's just like, she meets up and they hang out and that type of thing. So the son doesn't even know that he's secretly meeting up with his dad. I mean, based on what she's saying, like the son, no one knows except for her, one of her close friends, and the guy that, is the father of the kid. That's the only people that she thinks knows. So, yeah, there's a lot of hurt. And I can tell you from people that I know where things like something similar like this has happened, and it is something that does not, people can hold on to that pain for a lifetime. I mean, I know someone personally in my family where I've talked to them about this and trying to make amends and trying to fix stuff that happened way before I was even born. But I've tried to help them navigate through that, and they're just pissed still. And they're older than me. They're still pissed. And so it's like, that is one thing you don't want to really mess with. You're screwing with the lives of people. And maybe at the very beginning, but you've known for a few years now that this is someone else's kid, and your husband's just in the dark. You can't, I think that, it goes back to this other one. You can't be selfish and say, well, I don't want to get hurt, so I'm not going to tell anybody what happened. But you're hurting other people. You're hurting your child. You're hurting your husband. You're hurting the husband's family, because they're missing out on a nephew, or a grandkid, or what have you. They're missing out on that. And you're living a double life where you have to juggle between your real life and then this alternative thing that you've created, because you don't want your husband to find out. It's just, to me, that's too much. Like, that's what I talk about, the fact that I tell Noelle everything. It's too much to sit and keep up with a lie. Like, I can't do it. Like, I end up tripping myself up. You know what I mean? Like, even Christmas time. That's why I don't, like, when I get Noelle stuff, I literally order it as soon as I see it, because I'll end up forgetting what I got anyway, and I'll wrap it as soon as I get it, because it's already in boxes and stuff, and I just wrap it, because if she asked me, like, what is it, I probably would tell her. I mean, I cannot keep a secret from her. And so for me, it's like, it is, to the fact that you're deceiving someone, especially your spouse, like that. And I don't know if you married him before you found out or after you found, I don't know. But if you knew before and you married him, that's just wrong. And that's going to be a question that he's going to ask. I mean, I would want to know, could it lead to a divorce? Possibly. Because, I mean, that to me is that's a big deal. Now, he may take it on the chin and say, okay, after a while of being pissed, and still be there. But I mean, to me, that's wrong. I mean, future note for people, like, keep it real with whoever you're with. You're messing with people's lives, people's health, a lot of different things, emotions, it's trauma. You don't want to do those types of things. So to me, if it were me, I would just have a sit down with both. First with your husband and tell him what the situation is. And then you definitely need to tell your son, because he's being cheated out of the facts and the truth, and also his own health. You got to think about that. What if the other dude has a history of health issues? Anyhow, that's what I would do. Honesty is always the best policy. You guys tell me what you think about this one. I like these Ask HershNoeies, because this one's got me going, man. I'm like amped up and pissed myself. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. No offense to you, lady. I don't want to mention your name. No harm to you. I'm not trying to be mean towards you or anything like that. No judgment towards you, but I'm just saying personally, that's something that would really irritate me. Growing up without a dad, yeah, that's something that really hits close. But anyhow, hope you guys like this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I will see you. Take care.